The devil made me do it. Did he? Did he really? I mean, we've all heard people say that from time to time. And sure, most often it's in jest or in a phrase used in a sarcastic sense. I mean, unless someone's truly going down that possessed by demons route of belief, there's not many people who are going to believe that the devil made you or me actually do anything. Incidentally, it was when I was a wee lad learning to play solitaire, yes, with real cards, that my grandmother had me convinced that the pwn, my opponent, was Old Scratch himself. I wanted to believe her, but at the same time, it just didn't seem quite right to be playing cards with the devil, if she was telling the truth. Grandma wouldn't lie to me, would she? But I digress. Back to our questioning the validity of the statement. First, there's an underlying assumption that you believe in the devil. And once you believe in the devil, would not one also have to acknowledge a belief in God? Can't have light without the dark, right? Okay, here we go. Because even if you do believe, then the implication is that God let the devil make you do whatever it was that was done. Must have been God's will, right? It must have been God's will, within the scope of his will, at the very least, that he allowed the devil to make you do whatever was done. Seems a bit complicated and far-fetched, doesn't it? We don't really have all that much time to get into the philosophy of religion in this particular conversation. But if the devil didn't make you do it, what did? Most people agree that I was drunk isn't a particularly good excuse. It might buy you a bit more grace and forgiveness than trying to blame the devil in some circles. Even so, it's not a particularly compelling argument in support of an objectively bad decision or acting on an impulse that you wouldn't otherwise act upon. If we refer back to our DBT therapy, recall that it's made up and fictional, and the wise words of Mike Cooley in the song Women Without Whiskey, he'd have us consider that whiskey, doesn't make you do a thing, it just lets you. Oh, snap. Brother Mike sure puts us on the spot, doesn't he? Is he right? Hold my beer. Yeah, no. Not going to go too far there, friend. You see, there's a reason that I put the bottle down, and it had to do with my decision making when drinking. Have you ever made a poor decision when you were drunk or maybe even just a little tipsy? Was that decision always inside you, just waiting for that particular moment to come out? And if it was, wow, bad decisions are really patient sometimes, aren't they? And they know our weaknesses, but that doesn't make them actual demons, does it? Who am I to say? I'm not in your heart or your head. Unfortunately, I am in mine some days. And I still sometimes make what people would judge to be less than stellar decisions. I can reject their judgment as subjective, but that's got limits. I'm certainly not drunk, so there's no excuse there. I can't say the devil made me do it. We've just gone over that. So I guess sometimes we simply make mistakes. Other times we're out of excuses entirely. We just have to own our intentions and the consequences that follow our actions. You and I have to live with ourselves, despite our win-loss ratio. Either it's on me and I accept that, or it's out of my control. Despite my best efforts, I discovered that I couldn't have it both ways. Can you? You've got my take. What say you?